game. Let's do the roller coaster again.
Grandpa, look, a baby sheep.
That's fun, that's Playland.
Now open daily. Good time going around.
Save On Foods, British Columbia's price leader, brings you guaranteed quality at unbeatable prices.
It's a blueberry spectacular. Save on Canada #1 grade fresh blueberries in approximately 10-pound cartons. Just $8.48 each now through Saturday while quantities last.
The name says it all. Save On Foods.
Jay's Twins tonight.
How's this for a cast of thousands? Look who's here in New York. This is only Kevin Kline from Cry Freedom, Sophie's Choice, The Big Thrill, The Big Chill. Silverado and Violets Are Blue. He's here in the company of Michael Palin, who's a member, as you know, of Monty Python's troupe. On the loop from Los Angeles is John Cleese and Jamie Lee Curtis. How did she get in this crowd? Welcome them, the stars of A Fish Called Wanda. Say hello. That's the end of our show, and thank you all very much. Can you hear us, John and Jamie Lee?
He can't hear you. His hearing aid isn't working, but I can hear you fine, and I'll translate.
Very good.
What? What did she say?
I said I would tell them that I can hear you, and then I'll tell them what you're saying.
Yeah, it's about 2 minutes past 10.
What is that on your cheek?
This is the same as the kiss that I have on the poster for the movie.
He hasn't washed his face since I kissed him. I have that effect on people.
Having seen your beloved movie titled A Fish Called Wanda, I'm pleased to say that this is a very entertaining comedy, which, I assume you won't be upset, has which is British in origin.
British in origin, quite right.
Now, what that means is you're doing things in this film that we do not see in American films.
Like what?
Well, in American films, what we do in American films is blow people's heads off, for example.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, we would never kill 3 Yorkies in one movie.
Bad business.
It was an accident. It was an accident. You have to realize that.
I am fascinated with how aggressive, irreverent, and bold is this script in ways I think escape the creative artist here in our nation called America. Do you share at all any, how do you feel about that observation, Kevin?
Come on.
Oh. It's true, the English are very refined and cultivated and restrained, with a few exceptions. And boring, yes. But no, I've never, people have talked about this being British humor, or Monty Python being British humor, and I guess because they're British and humorous, it's British humor, but I've always gotten it as, it's funny. I mean, what makes you laugh has got to be universal. So while it is, of course, distinctively British, it makes me laugh. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
I don't know what he's talking about. I think, yeah.
John, do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never been able to figure out what he's talking about. He's usually talking about himself, but I don't listen to that bit. But the rest beats me.
Yeah.
Now, and Jamie Lee, how did you get on with these talented men that surround you in this whole film?
Well, because I'm totally untalented, it was very difficult. But I learned a lot, and I'm even learning how to spell better. Thank you.
Well, this has got to be, well, I don't want to say, certainly one of the most exciting efforts of your career, Jamie Lee. You're very central to this film. You're in every scene, and you're in bed with 3 of these 4 guys.
Yes. Thank
you. We never got to bed. I think it was on the carpets or just by the front door. We didn't actually
Hi,
get as far
Michael.
as the bed.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi, Jamie. Hi, John.
I was the best.
Let me just talk for a minute here about Brother Cleese. Listen to this. You're a writer, director, producer, and actor. That's the style, is it, in Great Britain? I think while we certainly do have our writers and our actors, they're not as likely to be found in as many places here as in your native homeland.
I think what actually happens, Phil, is that when you start as a writer, and then you get a chance to perform, so you do a bit of that too. And then eventually you want a little bit more control, and inevitably you take on more and more and more. So that on this one I finished up with about 3.5 hats on.
That's why we have such a, unemployment problem in England. Everyone's doing the same role, I mean, he did everything. He did makeup, he did a lot of the costumes.
He also produced industrial films.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes.
Fascinating, isn't it?
This started as an industrial film. But,
Yes, it kind of mushroomed.
Comedy crept in and John couldn't control it.
Kevin, from Sophie's Choice, what a film. Oh, what a novel.
Which one were you?
I was the other one.
Listen to this. Listen about Kevin here. 2 Tonys, no small achievement, a Drama Desk Award, and an Obie Award. You are hot, kid.
Thank you.
And you're dismissed. Michael.
There are actually 2 Drama Desk Awards.
Michael stutters in this film.
Catching a bit of the glow here. Well,
yes.
This boy is hot. He's very hot. God, he's boiling. Whoa. Whoa.
There are actually 2 Drama Desk Awards. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll get that. Let me correct that. 2 Drama Desk
You can make toast off this guy.
3, maybe.
And you stutter in this film very well.
Well, thank you.
As a matter of fact, that is no small achievement either. You can run away with the scene and lose the meaning of the scene if you're not careful. This is a way to upstage everybody, and you succeed in not doing that.
Actually, I mean, with a stammer, in fact, you depend very much on your fellow actors, because you start a line, and I finish very few lines in the movie. I start a lot of lines, I finish very few. So I'm talking about the dog, and you really do depend on your fellow actor to come in. I mean, if Kevin doesn't come in with the line, then I'm dead.
See, I'm
just going on,
But
no, it was interesting to do a stammer because my father had a stammer, and what I didn't want to do is in this movie just sort of like bring it in as a sort of joke, which that's all the character does is stammer. So in fact he doesn't stammer all the time. When he's happy, when he's with animals, he's very happy and relaxed, which is what stammering's all about. It's only a response to pressure. And it's only when he gets French fries stuck up his nose and he's lashed to a chair, he's tipped head down, head first, he has a pear stuck in his mouth, and Kevin eats all his pets, that he is under a bit of pressure, and then he can't speak too well, which I think is reasonable, don't you?
Yes.
No? Do I hear a no?
Let me show them. Is the first clip John Cleese hanging out the window? Let me just share with this audience just a piece of this film, with which I assume you'll become familiar at a later date. This is quite a scene. Here's the barrister being, how shall we say, placed on the outside of a window while being held by his ankles by none other than Kevin Kline. Listen to the barrister in this moment of life or death. Roll the film.
Oh, I love you, Archie. I've loved you ever since the first second I saw you.
Oh. What was that?
What?
Your brother didn't bring you here this time, did he?
No.
He's no idea?
He doesn't have a clue.
What?
When he heard your daughter's name was Portia,
Yeah?
he said, why did they name her after a car? I love the way you laugh.
Oh, I love you. You're funny. How come a girl as bright as you could have a brother who's so...
Don't call me stupid.
Mike! Jesus Christ!
Come on! I'll deal with you later. What have you done with her? She's all right.
Otto!
Now, apologize.
Otto!
What? Apologize. Are you totally deranged?
apologize.
All right, I apologize.
Really sorry.
I'm really, really sorry. I apologize unreservedly.
You sat around the pool and that scene evolved, did it?
I think John has always wanted to act upside down.
John?
Yeah, I can't remember where I got the idea from, but I remember when I told Charlie Crichton, this marvelous old guy who directed the movie, he said, "At last, John, you've had a visual idea."
Charlie Crichton is also was the man who gave us the Lavender Hill Mob.
That's right.
He is also 77 years old.
Right.
78 this year.
And he directed this film.
Yeah.
That is
it was
encouraging.
his first
Slowly,
feature.
very slowly.
It was his first feature for 21 years.
And when the script called for a gorgeous, sexy, talented, bright young woman.
They called Kathleen Turner, but she was unavailable.
Who approached you, Jamie Lee? Did John call or?
No, Kathleen called, actually. She said she just read this great script, and she wasn't going to do it, neither was Daryl Hannah or Rebecca De Mornay, and so that maybe I should.
Did she?
If I paid them to do it.
You know, you were always very clever. I don't know if you were this fast, however, before you made this film. Have these guys...
That's because of their brilliant influence, and I'm so lucky to be a part of working with them.
Were you respected as a contributor to an idea, or was this a rigid, disciplined, don't argue with the playwright script?
Well, I've never had an experience where somebody actually lets you participate. And once you've had that experience like I did on this movie, it'll be very difficult to work with anybody again. So this is it, I guess. So, thank you very much, and I enjoyed working with you. No, they really allowed a lot of freedom, and it gave me a lot of confidence. And
is it different working in England? I mean,
well, it's much more boring in England.
It is.
Yes, it's boring and it smells badly there. But
she's from LA, you know.
But on the whole, you know, I mean, it's basically sort of the same thing. They speak with very, you know, and they think they're very smart and they're not, and it's okay. You get over that sort of like I'm better than you attitude, and then it's just everybody's pretty the same. Right?
There is that attitude. John, how about working here? What are your feelings about? Is it different for you working here?
Well, no. The only two times I worked here, I must say they were quite exceptional experiences. Doing Silverado with Kevin down in Santa Fe, and I was lucky enough to be working with Larry Kasdan, who's a very good friend anyway. And that was genuinely a marvelous crew, an extraordinary experience. And then doing Cheers about 18 months ago was an equally good one. So I think if you're lucky, you're lucky. And the other thing I'd like to say is that during the 1870s, the main import of Bismarck's social policy was to transfer the enfranchisement to the working classes in order to suppress the liberal tendencies that would...
Fascinating, isn't it?
We are in New York City and Los Angeles, having perfected the theory of bilocation, with John Cleese, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Kline, and Michael Palin, and we're also here with 250 of the most talented people to be found in a studio audience anywhere in the universe, and we'll be back.
It was his turn to do the dishes.
She was enjoying every minute of it. The dishes were so greasy.
Big deal. He was using Joy. Joy lifts the grease away and helps keep it away.
Okay, but then she said, one more. She expected me to wash a glass in that greasy water. Well, it worked. It got the glass really clean.
That's because Joy works hard to scatter grease and take it out of your way.
It's fantastic.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Joy beats grease clean.
Fuss with shampoo and conditioner? Who needs it? I want to wash my hair and go. And now I can. With new Pert Plus. Complete shampoo plus complete conditioner in one bottle. Pert Plus leaves my hair clean, conditioned, and looking terrific. Before, to get results this good, I used shampoo and conditioner. No more. Now, with Pert Plus, I just wash and go.
New Pert Plus. Shampoo plus complete conditioner in one.
I don't feel good.
No heartburn. Oh, my stomach's upset. Yes.
It hurts.
I feel burning.
Pepto-Bismol. Pepto-Bismol is proven stomach medicine. Its effective formula coats your stomach and starts to work right away. This special coating formula puts soothing medication between you and the upset to bring you relief. Give your stomach troubles good medicine. Pepto-Bismol.
Now the lamp. Okay. My mom recommended Prep H to me during my first pregnancy. And it's what I use for hemorrhoid discomfort.
Only Preparation H has the healing action of Biodine to help shrink swollen hemorrhoids for relief that really lasts.
Prep H relieved the pain and itching fast. And it did more. It helped the healing.
For relief that really lasts, try Preparation H with the healing action of Biodine.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, John, I'm a major fan of yours from Faulty Towers. I'm wondering if you're planning any new episodes in the future.
No, I haven't done any for 9 years now, believe it or not. And both Connie Booth and I, because we wrote it together, we always felt we'd done it. And I know people would like to see more, but there's two reasons. First of all, as I always say, we got 6 hours out of Basil Fawlty, and Shakespeare only got 4.5 out of Hamlet. Well, 7.5 when Kevin did it, but...
You know what's really amazing? You can't see the scars at all. I keep looking at him from the profile, and it's just fabulous. It's really a good job. You know, they've really done a nice job on him.
It's amazing what surgery can do these days, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Oh, I like that so
This
funny.
is for who's ever in the know. Needless to say, A Fish Called Wanda is an unusual title. Who wrote the screenplay, and how did you come up with that title?
That's what we want to know. Yeah.
Do you know, I really can't remember where the title came from. I know it just amused me when I thought of it, and it was obviously after I'd had the idea that Michael Palin, should keep pet fish.
No, it is Palin, actually, John.
Is it?
It is Palin, yeah. We had this trouble on the set, you know, it was awesome. Okay, carry on.
But I can't remember the first part of the question.
Where did the movie come from?
It was better than the answer.
The title.
The title of the film.
The title, I can't remember how we got to that, but after I'd realised that Mickey was a pet lover and ought to keep fish, and that he was in love with Jamie, who's called Wanda, and he would therefore call his favourite fish after Jamie, I came to A Fish Called Wanda, and it made me grin. And I told about a dozen people that title, and they all smiled. So I thought, well, that's all you can expect from a title. Also, I think it makes people slightly curious. Some people.
Yeah. Does it? Yeah.
Yeah, to John, are you thinking about maybe recreating that Cheers character? And to Jamie, do you like younger guys? That's
Like the younger than him, there's a whole spectrum is there. I mean, anybody younger than John is okay by me, and we're talking about men in their 80s, really, because, you know, John is secretly about 89.
What did she say?
Why don't you answer the question first, John? Are you going to recreate that brilliant character that you played on Cheers because you're such a brilliant actor, writer, director?
How nice of you, Jamie. In a word, no.
Thank you, John. Yes, I like young men. I like old men. I like men, usually.
Go.
Kevin, if I may call you Kevin.
Please.
Call him sir. He loves it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed you immensely in The Big Chill. I've seen it many times. How did the camaraderie on the set during the filming of The Big Chill compare to making this movie?
Only in that on The Big Chill we all liked one another. Other than that, it was identical, and we had a good time on The Big Chill. We really did. We had a lot of fun, and we've remained friends, most of us.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, we've all remained close friends, and on this movie, none of us are really speaking to one another because of the antipathy between the.
Just speak on our own.
Shut up!
If we start speaking to each other, you know, so it's just better to put your own point of view.
You talk. Fine.
I mean, I was promised a part, a Charlton Heston role. John told me I could, naked from the waist up, huge pectorals. I could ride a chariot and end up with him sticking French fries up my nose. You know what I mean?
Yes.
What is it like after you've done, had that sort of experience with a guy? It's tough.
Shut up.
I think, I haven't seen the movie, but being that you're in it, I've got to see it because I think you're so fabulous.
He's getting hotter.
You want under the thing?
London is the people in England are just fabulous.
Really?
Really, I think they do. They're not phonies.
I agree with you. This is all joking. I love the English, most of them. Yeah. 2 of them.
I'd just like to know when the movie's going to air in New York. Is it shortly?
It's opened in New York.
It's playing right now. You should all be there.
It's in 2 theaters in New York, and then 2 weeks it's going wide all across New York. Theaters, skyscrapers, shoe shops, trattorias, bistros. Yeah.
I guess this is a question for John. Unfortunately, I didn't see the movie. Is it British humor?
What is British humor?
Well, that's my question. I had never, ever gotten British humor. I'm sorry. It's a bizarre question, I know. And there's probably no answer, but I've never
gotten
British humor.
Yeah.
I mean, like with early
is this a
comedy in America, a lot of it was slapstick,
Yes.
There's...
John, do you get the question?
Has she finished already?
Yes.
The truth is, I think the English sense of humor is identical to the American sense of humor, provided that we can understand what we're talking about. Because your culture, seriously, your culture is so different from the British culture that a lot of jokes that, for example, I made in the last movie I made, I didn't realize they were cultural jokes, but when they played to an American audience, American audiences didn't laugh. For example, I had a scene, went into a public telephone booth, didn't work. It never does work in the UK, and I went into 3 in a row and I got furious. Now, in the UK, everybody thought that scene was very funny because they all hate the public telephone booth because they don't work. In America, with the exception of New York, public telephone booths work. So the joke just didn't play. And I'd no idea that it was a cultural joke. Now, on Wanda, thank you. Sorry, you had plenty of time asking your questions, but I'm just taking my revenge. Right?
Quick one-liners, that's the British style. One-liners. There, he's got it. He's made himself laugh now.
You did understand that, did you? Yes.
Well, I'm looking forward to see the movie because I believe John.
Can I say something else?
Sure, you can. Go ahead.
Phil, what I was going to say was I didn't want to repeat that experience because this last movie of mine was only seen in America by 9 people. So I worked out Jamie's character with Jamie. We kind of wrote it together, and I worked out what's his name? Kevin's character with Kevin. And I had an American producer called Michael Schamberg looking over my shoulder all the time saying, take that 4-syllable word out, they don't know it, and put more car chases in. And that way we made something that will really appeal to the American audience. I'm quite sure of that. Oh, yes. Boring.
I'm looking forward to seeing the movie because I believe John does a nude scene.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if Kevin's planning on doing one in his next movie.
It's interesting how he bridles at that question, Excuse me, please ask the question.
Well, I'm fairly nude.
Yeah, he's fairly nude.
I'm practically nude in this film.
Yep. We're all nude under the clothes,
Yes,
We tried,
you know
we all
what? You
stripped
two
off, but
don't
it was
have
only
that-
John's nudity that was kept in the movie in the end.
Well,
Because it was a
but
comedy.
you know why? I mean, you guys don't have anything to really worry about, if you know what I mean. Whereas John, you know, there must be some sort of psychological reason that he has so much bravado in his older life, and that's because he's hiding something, which is, as we all know, which you can see in the movie.
Yeah.
That's enough!
And he does make industrial film.
Kevin, here are Kevin and Michael at work in this film. This is, here's the animal lover. Here's the fish keeper, Michael. Kevin is a hood, very aggressive hood. And here's how they interact in this film. A fish called Wanda.
You really like animals, don't you, Ken? What's the attraction?
Because you can trust them and they don't
On you?
show off all the time.
You know what Nietzsche said about them? He said they were God's second blunder. Bye, sis.
Well, you tell him from me that I can show him.
Bye, George. You talk to Mom. Tell her I said hi.
Okay.
Don't let him touch you.
One more day, we're together. I'm sorry about my brother, Ken. I know he's insensitive. He's had a hard life. Dad used to beat him up.
Good.
That was straight in profile. I like that.
This is for Jamie Lee. I saw you in all the Halloweens and Trading Places and Perfect. Can you say something about your leading men? Especially
you mean in all the
yeah,
All of
like
them?
Travolta and all of your leading men.
Well, I like John very much. I haven't seen him that much since the movie came out, and I always end up with very strange leading men, I think. I've never been sort of a mainstream sort of woman. I've never sort of been the pretty girl in school and stuff, and so I've always ended up with sort of very strange sort of leading men. Dan Aykroyd is a good example, and you know, Kevin and Michael are both, you know, interesting and good leading men. I've only worked with really one boring, you know, unattractive one.
Oh, dear. Are you getting it yet now back here about this movie? Whose hand did I see? Yes, ma'am.
Kevin, I saw you being interviewed last night on TV, and you did very well.
Why, thanks.
About what would you say? A 5, 6, maybe 10?
Probably a 10.
Thanks. That's why I got asked back today. I actually
Right.
never got out of the studio. I was just upstairs, and they just
Oh,
brought me
I
down here
see.
this
They
morning.
wouldn't let you go, huh? But, Michael, I wanted to ask you, I saw you in the fish tank. How do you know which one is Wanda?
How do I know which one is Wanda?
Right.
I didn't.
She's the big one.
We had a Wanda. Wanda was sacked, actually, because she ate all the smaller fish. There was, we had this fish called Wanda to start with, and we kept noticing as we came back each day that some of the smaller fish in the tank were actually missing, and it turned out there'd been a little bit of cannibalism in the cast there. The bigger members of the cast eating some of the smaller ones. It happens in showbiz all the time. When it spread to the humans on the cast, we had to put a stop to it.
This is for John and Mike. I wanted to say I'm a huge Monty Python fan, and I would like to know when you're having...
How big are you?
Very big fan. And I'd like to know if you're going to have a movie out soon, another Monty Python, and also, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Yes. I mean, no. We haven't decided yet. John will probably take...
It's hard to do another Python movie because, as you know, most of the other Pythons are dead now. Terry Gilliam is in a home, but I gather he's not going to last much longer. So really, in A Fish Called Wanda, you have really what is still available from the original Monty Python team.
John will now only do Python films if it involves nude scenes, and he'll have to rent that same body out again, and I don't know whether he'll be able to afford it.
Hi, this is directed to Jamie Lee. First a statement and then a question.
Okay.
Jamie, you broke my heart when you got married. And secondly, if you're not happily married, can I leave my phone number with Phil?
Yeah.
And thirdly, have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
Has anyone ever married someone as a result of this program? Has this ever
I
worked
wonder.
on air?
Oh, I have, yes. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Plus with shampoo and conditioner. Who needs it? I want to wash my hair and go. And now I can with new Pert Plus. Complete shampoo plus complete conditioner in one bottle. Pert Plus leaves my hair clean, conditioned, and looking terrific. Before, to get results this good, I used shampoo and conditioner. No more. Now, with Pert Plus, I just wash and go.
New Pert Plus, shampoo plus complete conditioner in one.
How many dishes does one bottle of your dishwashing liquid do? Well, the best of these leading brands will do this many. Not bad, but there's one that does more than any of those. It's Ivory Liquid. It does more dishes because it has longer-lasting suds. Look, the same 1-liter size bottle of Ivory will do that many, and more, and even more. So no matter which one you're using now, you'll get 1,000 more clean dishes with Ivory Liquid. And that's 1,000 more reasons to choose it.
1961, and Crest announces a new era in cavity prevention.
Look, Mom!
Fewer cavities. Crest promised it first, and millions of checkups prove Crest delivered. Now more than ever, Crest keeps the promise. Say this is Fluorostat. It penetrates tooth enamel to help reverse the tooth decay process at the earliest stage so cavities can't start.
Look, Daddy!
Great, honey. Fluorostat, a big reason why more than ever Crest keeps the promise of fewer cavities.
Okay, Bobby, here's your lunch. And look, a Ronald McDonald glass.
Oh, wow!
Now you can collect all 4 McDonald Land character glasses, 1 a week for just 79 cents each.
Mom!
Colorful 16 fluid-ounce glasses with Grimace, Hamburglar, Birdie, and Ronald McDonald himself. A different glass each week for only 79 cents each at McDonald's.
Look, Mom, it's Ronald!
But hurry, before they all disappear.
What an imagination.
Good time, great taste of McDonald's.
What's the secret behind Brown Brothers Ford's success? Just listen to our customers.
We had looked around several places, and were not satisfied. And we came to Brown Brothers Ford and found the car we wanted, and therefore we purchased it.
Brown Brothers Ford has a good reputation, and the salesman made the deal right.
I recommended Brown Brothers to my father, and he bought a car at Brown Brothers also.
Find out for yourself. Shop Brown Brothers Ford, Maine and Marine.
Yes, ma'am.
John Cleese, could we please see a silly walk?
Oh.
Oh, darling, I did that
That's his Achilles heel.
I did it 19 years ago. I've had 2 hip operations and a knee operation since then, and I'd have to unscrew the brace. Really let me off, will you?
Shame.
Oh, come on, John.
Come on, John.
I think it's horrible.
Come on,
Don't you,
John.
everyone?
All right, I'll do it.
Almost
He's
finished.
got to get unwired.
This is a...
John and Jamie Lee are on the satellite from Burbank. I don't know how much room they've got. Where'd he go?
Maybe a silly...
This will be a first.
We can't see him!
That's it.
Yeah, Jamie's reaction.
Thank you so much, John. That was so kind of you, John. John, thank you very, very much. Yeah.
I saw Kevin on Broadway in The Pirates at Penzance, and you were absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
And I was wondering if you prefer theater or movies.
Usually when I'm doing the theater, I prefer the movies. And when I'm filming a movie, I usually prefer the theater. Actually, I like them both. They kind of play nicely off one another. And
please know that Kevin Kline is starring in Much Ado About Nothing in the park here in our beloved city.
And it's terrific.
Yeah,
it's really
and what a
evening out.
challenge. I can't get over the versatility of this crowd here, all 4 of you.
I don't know how to fix it.
Who writes the children's books? You?
Come on in. Come on
Oh,
in.
yeah, I have done. Yes, I've written 2 or 3 children's books in the
Children's
past.
books, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Gets up there in 100-degree...
I know, but I haven't written children's books in the park, surrounded by all the... I haven't done anything in the park that anyone's noticed. I've tried. I go into the park, I read some Shakespeare. Sorry.
Now, I'd like to know, Kevin, are you married? And would you like to come out with the 6 of us after the show?
Well,
These 6 here? I'm sorry. I'm not married, but I'm spoken for.
Okay. My boy.
I have a question for Kevin.
Yeah.
Do you find it more of a challenge to do comedy or drama? Is more your forte?
I really enjoy comedy. Everyone keeps telling me it's hard. They say comedy's hard.
Do something. He's so funny.
I like comedy. No, it's more unnatural. I think that's why I like it.
Yeah. John, there was a show on TV called Amanda, which B. Arthur did, which I thought was a takeoff on your show, Faulty Towers. Was it in the French?
Yeah, well, what happened was that the American company bought what are called the format rights. That is to say, they get the rights to the basic idea, the characters, and then all the storylines and all the dialogue, and they can do what they like with them. And I met 2 Americans at a house party one weekend in America who worked for the company that had the format rights. Stop it! And I said to them, hi, are you ever going to do it? And they said, yes, we're going to make 6 of them. And I said, well, that's great. I mean, will Americans understand one of those small private hotels? And they said, yeah, there'll be no problem at all. I said, so you going to make any changes at all? And they said, yes, we're going to write Basil out. And that's what they actually did. And obviously, I didn't think it was a great idea because all that awful behavior of Basil really comes because he's so scared of Sybil. You see what I mean? So if you unbalance that by taking all Basil's lines away, getting rid of the character and giving them to Sybil, then she becomes too much of a monster. So I don't think it ever worked. And they did 6 episodes, and that's all I'm going to say until Jamie stops looking at me like that.
My question's to Jamie. How does she ever take all these men seriously?
I don't.
And are you working on any other movie at this time?
I'm coming to New York City.
Hey!
I'm coming to New York to make a movie called Blue Steel with Ron Silver in about 3 weeks.
I'd like to ask Jamie Lee a question. Out of comedy, drama, and horror, which one do you like better?
To which of us is he referring to?
To save my life, I have no preference. I like them all. You know, I like to do a lot of different things. I like to cook. A lot of different things.
Maybe you'll accept this personal inquiry. The Donahue show is going to England for a week. Would any of you have any advice for us in advance?
Don't go!
Don't choose the summer.
Don't what?
Don't choose the summer.
Well, we won't
choose
be
some
in the
good weather.
It'll be in the fall.
Yeah. Oh, there you get good
That's
weather
good,
in the
huh?
fall. That's fine. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you a list of good guests, Phil.
We'd appreciate that.
Yeah. There's 3 of them. How many shows do you have to do?
We have 5 shows.
You can't do 5.
You can't.
No. The trouble in England, you ask questions of people and they get embarrassed, you know? And then they go like that.
Right. Well, are you saying that the audience won't participate when we go there? We will have trouble getting the audience.
Technically, we're not a very good nation. We have a problem with mechanical gadgets, see?
Yes.
John Veer's fallen off. Jamie,
take your
put it back
time,
on.
John. That's all right. Look at this.
We're not
I'm
used
sorry,
to this.
I can't hear. Carry on amongst yourselves.
We're not used to this coast-to-coast communication in England.
Yeah.
In England, we just have to shout and we can hear.
John, will the audience participate in England?
Yeah, well, when you warm them up a bit, the thing is to probably invite them out to dinner about 3 weeks before you do the show. Spend a couple of weekends with them, and then get them really tanked up. You know, give them 4 or 5 stiff scotches, that kind of thing. And then, if they're still a bit quiet, set the studio on fire. You may get a bit of reaction then.
And don't worry about silence, because that means they like you.
Yes. For the fish movie, is all of you equally important part, or is there one major character?
There's one major character.
I'm sorry. There's one major character. You're hardly.
Very,
If there had to be...
Kevin and I presume, would be the two main
I would say rather attractive fella. And the fact that he finishes up with $20 million and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
I actually saw the movie. And Kevin, what were you eating when you ate the fish?
Those were stunt fish.
Takes years to train.
Highly trained, they don't mind being eaten at all.
They jump off buildings into very, very small pools of water. Terrific.
Yes.
This is the Jamie Lee. What is her father doing now, and does she plan on doing anything with him?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really know.
Your mother's well, I am sure.
Pardon me?
Your mom is well as well.
My mom is great and well and happy, and she's writing a book in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Kevin, I know you got great reviews and much ado, and I wonder if you have any plans for any theater this fall in New York.
No. Possibly. No, it's a difficult question. I have plans, but no one else does. So we're waiting to see.
You're going to read your reviews, aren't you?
Nothing definite, though.
Yeah. Yes.
This is to John and Michael. If Wanda is the enormous success everyone hopes it'll be, are you going to work together in the future, and do you have any specific plans?
No, I don't think so. There's some things, even if it's successful, I think, you can't swallow. What I went through on this movie, I never work with them again. I mean, except for money.
I promised him if we did a sequel, he'd get paid.
We are in New York City and Los Angeles, and with the stars of A Fish Called Wanda, and we'll be back in a moment.
At the end of a busy week, make breakfast more complete with new McCain Rise and Fry, a delicious fried potato treat. Rise early or rise late. Get them on the plate. McCain Rise and Fry potatoes. Make breakfast more complete.
Family-sized pizza, fun by the slice. Take out taste, stand on price. Leave a pizzeria style pizza, just dial McCain. Wow.
Women sweat too. That's why Menon put the wide stick protection of Speed Stick in a woman's antiperspirant. Lady Speed Stick. Unlike wet and sticky antiperspirants, it glides on fast and dry. Lady Speed Stick is made especially for a woman. It's gentle, and it protects you against odor and wetness all day long. Stay dry with Lady Speed Stick antiperspirant. Protects you like a man, but treats you like a woman.
With heavy tartar, I always feel like I need my teeth cleaned.
Crest tester Susan D'Orazio. Crest's latest clinical reconfirms that Crest's tartar-fighting formula really works. 65% of testers experienced measurable reduction in tartar buildup above the gum line.
That toothpaste really works on tartar, and the proof is in my mouth.
That's why more people are using cavity-fighting Fresh Mint Crest than any other tartar-fighting formula. The weight of evidence is on Crest's side. Crest tested, people proven.
There's something special about Bounce. The Bounce Touch, a soft touch. It's softness you want to get close to. The Bounce Touch, a fresh touch. The outdoor fresh fragrance seems to help clothes, well, smell clean. The Bounce Touch, a nice touch. And nothing beats Bounce for getting rid of static. No other fabric softener does as much. It's the perfect touch. The Bounce Touch.
It was his turn to do the dishes.
She was enjoying every minute of it. The dishes were so greasy.
Big deal. He was using Joy. Joy lifts the grease away and helps keep it away.
Okay, but then she said, one more. She expected me to wash a glass in that greasy water. Well, it worked. It got the glass really clean.
That's because Joy works hard to scatter grease and take it out of your way.
It's fantastic.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Joy beats grease clean.
Hello and welcome back to the adult part of our program. Here we will show you the nude scenes of A Fish Called Wanda.